Hi, Deacon Isaac Foster, back again with It Starts at Home. Episode is what we're going to be working on. Today, my subject is what type of man will your daughter marry? Does she mimic you or does she go on her own? And my son and I, we did an episode with this subject, and I would like to see him do a solo on this also because it's important that the men begin to understand that their daughters actually, in my opinion, choose a man that resemble them in their actions, in the way they, treat people, his ability to get up and perform jobs, the security he surround them with, the provisions he make. It really falls on him if he don't want his daughter to be with what we call a deadbeat or a violent person. The things that she see can't resemble any of that at all. He can't be violent in voice. He can't be physically violent. He got to show love at all times. He got to be strong in everything he do. If that's what he want his daughter to have in a man, okay? Most males are under the impression from their old traditional way that people have put things, you know, that the man is the head of the house. Yes, he is. That's the way God said. But there are conditions that goes along with this head of the household. First, the man got to be godly. He must be godly. He must have some form of godliness in him. He got to have a loving heart for everybody. Everybody. He can't have a prejudice against another human being because of their condition, their preference, or the color of their skin. He got to be an all-around human being. He got to know when to be merciful. He got to know when to be strong. He got to know when to step forward. He got to know when to step backwards. All the other stuff that we want to see in another guy for our daughter, she must see it in me. If I want my daughter to marry someone that I think is upright, I gotta show myself upright. No mistaking. I gotta let her see that the way I love her mother is the way her man should be loving her. No violence. As less arguments as possible because we all are going to disagree with one another at one point. But at least the least amount of arguments that is possible. And try to make sure they don't see it often because they will see it. Children are knowledge seekers. They are learning machines. Up until the age of 12, that's what they do. They learn. It seems it's something that go or shuts off in them at 12 that, they already made their mind up basically about what they're going to do. So you should be a very, very strong influence on their lives from birth up until 12 years old. The male should be there for their children. daughters and son. The son, he should mimic the father in things that he do. The daughter should mimic the mother. This is why it's a parenting thing. Is what we referring to as it starts at home, especially with our children. Because a house is just a house. It don't teach the kid nothing. It's just a house. It's a term we use, home. But to me, the phrase starting at home is with the parents. It's what we teach our children from birth up until 12 and further on. We can't drag our feet on this. Means you got to be very, very careful how you walk this. If you looking to see your daughter have someone that's respectful of her, of themselves, especially of themselves. Because if they don't respect themselves, there's no respect for anyone else. So you must show respect at all times, especially for yourself. Don't just walk through the house any old kind of way. When your daughters get to a certain age, even cover your chest. Sometimes we don't take that to heart, but it to me it shows a form of respect. You're not a savage anymore. The most powerful thing I think a man can do to let his children and his family know that he is head of the house is to give everyone respect. Everyone deserve that respect. That's the way you get it back, and that's the way your daughter will see it in the man that she willing to marry. Not saying that it's going to happen in all cases, but if she don't see that man in you, that is not. She see that nonviolent guy. Not to saying that you are not willing to stand up for what's right. Not saying that you won't step into an individual for their disrespect. What I'm saying is that you're not gonna let it get out of hand to the point where it get physical, loud, boisterous, violent, even in the voice part. I'm looking at this thing as a one-on-one. If I want my daughter, if I want my young child to come up, my daughter and my son, to be with a person that is respectful in all aspects of their lives, I have to be the same way because they are who I am, who they are looking at. I am the one that they are looking for guidance. They're not looking at what they teach them in school for guidance. They're like we said before in previous episode, school is to prepare you for what society have out there. But the parents is to make sure that you understand that you are society. You must be respectful. You are that part of society that is not going to allow anyone to run over you or you're not going to run over them. Nonviolence is a real positive way to go. It's easier to back away from something than it is to run into it. Run into it gives, when you run into things, you facing all kinds of resistance. But when you back away from it seems to be a little bit easier to handle. It don't make a man a coward. It doesn't make a woman a coward. If they decide, well, this is not the way this should go. See, this is what we have to teach our kids. This is one of the reasons we got all this rigmarole going on out there in the streets. Nobody is willing to back away from stupidity. It's either my way or the highway, and it's not. It don't work like that. It's our way or no way at all. Ours. I mean, you, me, my associates, and everybody. We have to be on the same path. This is what I'm saying to the men. Remember, you can't blame the woman for everything. We have a tendency to want to do that, especially with the children. She should have did this. She should have did that. Well, what was you doing? Don't use your job as an excuse. Don't use the job as an excuse because she has a heck of a job herself, making sure everything is taken care of, especially if she's a stay-at-home mother or wife. So the thing we have to really take under consideration is that we ourselves as men must be respectful, loving, understanding, bend a little bit, don't break, nonviolent, for verbally and physically, but strong. I know it's a hard package in the days like today, but this is what we gotta show our children. This is what we especially let our daughters see. Our young males, you could talk with them a little bit, but our daughters, we must definitely make sure that they see this. I just want to thank you and continue this later on. This just something to get you to thinking about what type of man that you would like to see your daughter with. You must be the mirror image of that man if that's what you want to see your daughter with. Thank you. I'm Deacon Foster. Have a good day.